our friend Ben Murray joins us from the Independence Institute. Holy moly, Ben Murray. Thank you for your time, brother.
Steffan, thanks for having me back.
So I just read for you, for our audience, your latest tweet within the last 30 or 35 minutes or so. It's connected to a story from Complete Colorado. Rushed Polis property tax bill contains glaring error, among other things. Your tweet, oops, Colorado legislature made a huge mistake. The bill calls the referred property tax measure Prop HH, but the law requires it to be called. All right, what does the law require it to be called?
So based on the law, it should be Proposition II.
II. Okay, I was wondering, are those Roman numeral 2? So what? Whoops, how does that happen?
So number one is because Governor Polis and the legislature cooked up this whole deal in a back room and didn't release it, introduce it until 7 days before the end of session. They rushed it through and they didn't follow the law. They made this really, I don't know, clerical error. I mean, it just shows you how rushed this thing was. And Steffan, I got to tell you this. Complete Colorado, great news site for Colorado news. They got the scoop on this. They were the first ones to it. And you know why? There's somebody, Natalie Minton is her name, and she is just an activist. She doesn't get paid to do this. She's just an activist. And she is the one who caught this. She is the one who caught this. And she let the Secretary of State office know. And then they said, oh yeah, we already know.
I mean, just like you said in your tweet, Ben Murray, Independence Institute, I'm telling you as a sidebar, there's nobody better to follow on this Senate Bill 303 that was going to be Proposition hell no. Now, you know what, Ben? I think we just call this, if it's going to be Prop II, it's going to be Prop Idiot. There we go.
There you go.
You got to say no. Again, for people that may have missed you last Friday when you were on with us, and again, thank you for that time. I want you on all the time about this because this is serious stuff. Can you maybe I should take a deep breath, but can you take a big picture view again of how there's a little benefit in the middle, or excuse me, in the beginning, and then 10 years down the road, this is disastrous for the Colorado taxpayer.
This is terrible. I mean, Governor Polis and the legislature created this property tax crisis that we're in. And no matter what we do at this point, at least based on the options they've given us, we are going to see the largest property tax increase in Colorado history. The options they've given us are vote against their measure, whether it's going to be II or HH, vote against their measure and see the largest property tax increase in state history, just accept it, or vote for their measure and still see the largest property tax increase in state history, minus maybe a little bit, and give up your TABOR refunds forever starting in a few years.
Hey, where can we find your videos? Because I've been touting the Ben Murray train here for the last few days, and your videos are outstanding. They're very well produced from the Independence Institute. And is that the best way to find out, besides following you on social media, to find out like your latest talking about 303?
The best way is to come straight to the source, which is Independence Institute and my work specifically on property taxes. You can find that at Ben A. Murray on Twitter, Murrey, or IITV3 on YouTube.
So, yeah, I guess in wrapping up, and again, we'll be in close contact, you said something on Friday that has stuck with me. In fact, I've repeated it about 4 times since our conversation on the program on Friday, and that is, and I didn't do nearly the justice it was deserved, I'm sure, but you had said something about if the damn politicians had just kept their nose out of things. Can you kind of reiterate that?
Yeah, I mean, Governor Polis wants to say that the reason why property taxes are going to go up so much is because home values went up so much. That is not true. That is such a fat lie. If politicians had just done nothing, all they had to do was nothing, then we would not be seeing this massive property tax increase. Because they meddled, property tax rates are going up about 35% over what they would have otherwise been had they just done nothing.
Do you expect people to leave because of this?
I'll tell you, we're not doing a good job of attracting people to our state. Will people leave? I mean, look, it's always a little harder to leave a place than it is to not come to a place. Mm-hmm. So the first effect will be people will look at Colorado and go, man, I don't want to jump into that dumpster fire. But for those of us still here, it'll take a little bit more, but eventually you actually start pushing people out.
Ben Murray, Independence Institute. Final question for you, friend, and we'll be in touch as I mentioned. The kind of a different kind of topic, but kind of similar. Have you heard any scuttlebutt, or do you just even in your intelligent mind and your gut feeling, do you think that more people will be protesting protesting their property tax assessment this year in Colorado than perhaps any other time in state history?
Number one, yes, absolutely. Number two, I think everybody should be appealing their assessment, just period. Just if nothing else, as a matter of protest, and send a message to our politicians that we are not okay with the way they've handled this. And I would say go ahead. Now, I also want to let all your viewers, your listeners know, we're calling on Governor Polis to call a special session, actually bring everybody to the table, not block out half of the state from the conversation. Bring everybody to the table and solve this problem, a real solution that actually brings property tax relief. He's the only one who has the power at this point to call a special session and solve this problem.
Great stuff, Ben. Thank you so much, brother. And we'll be in touch as mentioned. IITV3 on YouTube or on Twitter. At Ben A. Murray, Murrey. There's nobody better in this state right now than breaking it down. And what I appreciate probably the most of a lot of things about Ben and our friends at the Independence Institute, thank you, Ben, for making it simple to understand for someone like me.